Today we're constructing a huge building and we're prepping for some new mods. In last week's video I left you all with the shot of this storage setup. But this is most of the stuff that I need for the Create warehouse. Let's talk about it while I try to figure out the front facade of the main entrance. I want two things in this building. It needs to be unique, yet still tie into the theme that we've got going on around here. And on the other hand, I want everything to be grand and big. This will be the main warehouse after all. For the main hall, as you've probably noticed, it is going to be made out of bricks. As for the facade, I want to create some depth with these pillars going up at both sides of the center. At the wings, we're going to curve in the roof line a tad bit lower than the middle section, which is going to come out one block. As for windows, I'd say one big window in the middle and then two high ones at the sides. And after adding in some frame blocks just to soften up the corners a bit, we can also add in a door, which I'd like to animate. Using some glue and two gantries should give us the option to open and close the doors. The only thing that we need to do is to reverse the rotation, but we can easily do that with some toggleable switches and a gear shift. And that's the main facade done. Now let's see what we can do for the wings of the factory. The wings are gonna be a lot simpler. I think we can use these limestone pillars as a base and extend these protruding ones all the way up to where I think that the top is gonna be. We can use some cut limestone to fill in the rest and we'll cap it off with some overlapping deep slate block thingies. Then we just take out some blocks for a couple of tall windows. And I think we've got a decent design. Simple, yes, but it'll do. So let's move on to the other side. And now it's just a matter of repeating this around the entire premise. So let's place down some more limestone, bricks, and even more limestone. And that's all the walls in place. Now I do want a bit of a tower that surrounds the copper farm. I'll cut off the wall section of the main building where the tower connects and build up the walls just to the point that I think it's high enough. I'll frame it out with some vertical deep slate slabs just to make it look a bit more fortified, as higher buildings need more support. One more thing that I need to surround is the outskirts of the monorail. I think we could do that with some tough bricks to contrast against the red and the white that we've got going on. It'll be a rather slender design, but we'll have a corridor with two station rooms at either side. And this not only covers the monorail, but it also breaks up some of the flatness of the lower building. Now that we have the profile of the building complex in, we can get all the roofs in. Most of the shape will come from the walls and how the facades come up. But I need to figure out some intersections and some funny bits. Just let me do some building while you guys listen to some nice music. Deal? I talked a bit about breaking up the flat lower buildings, and we can use a bit more of that. So on top of the tower, we can add a clock. The clock bearings will make it so that we can have an actual working depiction of the in-game time, which is pretty fun. On the other side of the complex, we can add some extra platforms. We can use one for like a break and a resting area. We'll add some benches, a small overhang, and some railings to just tell people to not cross it. The second platform will hold some fluid tanks. Maybe they hold up the fuel for the monorail or something like that. But the other 3 little platforms that we have closer to the main hall can use some smokestacks. The train hose from the new decoration mod that came with the update helps a lot in that regard. And honestly, I think that'll do it for now. A lot of the surroundings will be taken care of when I get the roads in, but I still don't have an idea on how I want to do those. For now, let's just clean up the mess that is this temporary storage unit, and we can get into some more mods that, well, have been added to this pack. I have actually been scrolling through a lot of the mods and what functionalities that they bring to the game, and one thing has been obvious. They are going to require some stuff that I'm not set up for. The waystones, for instance, require a load of ender pearls, and I only have 3. For the upgrades that allow spawners to function without a player present, we need nether stars, which is fair, but also means that I have a load more production to take care of. Right now, I'm prepping for step 1 in that direction by crafting ourselves an actual good bow. I also had a small stakeout in the nether for a couple of hours so that I could acquire a few ender pearls to make Eyes of Ender, because you guessed it, I'm going to take on the dragon today. First things first, we follow the eye thingy until it floats into the ground. Then we dig down to avoid dying to any of the possible life-threatening mobs in caves. And when we eventually find the stronghold, we run around until we realize that this place is only 4 hallways big, and we need Operation Poke Every Wall until you find the rest of the stronghold, before we can find the portal. Once we have found said portal, we place down a bed, refill our lava tank, and place the Eyes of Ender in the frames. And that brings us here. Wish me luck in the comments below, and let's take on this flying lizard. The fact that you can fly makes this fight a bit of a joke. I honestly don't even know why I doubted this. Let's gather some pearls for a bit though, so I can go back to the overworld and craft a bunch of waystones. I'll put 1 at the village, 1 at the end portal, and the last one at the starter base. The rest will go into my backpack for when I need them. It's mainly a way to save up on some time and resources when I need to travel back and forward quite a lot. For the rest of the mods, and before we can play around with some spawners, I need to do some more work. And that will most likely be for next week's video, because I am running out of time. With that being said, I hope you really liked this one. If you did, subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!